Tati Westbrook. Tati says she was manipulated by Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. Shane Dawson has responded to Tati in a live stream calling her a liar, and fans have reacted to Shane doing this instead of apologizing to Willow Smith. That's right, it's all about Shane Dawson this week and the ensuing fallout. It's 3 stories, but it's really just like one big, long, never-ending story. It's kind of like that movie, The Never-Ending Story, because there's a dragon in it, and that dragon's name is racism. A dragon we must slay. And there's no YouTuber Watch this week because surely I've suffered enough trying to wade through this nonsense. Hosted by me, Benedict Townsend, brought to you by PopBuzz, the only website that is now 100% about Shane Dawson and Tati Westbrook news. Our first story, and in many ways our only story, Tati Westbrook has put on her rubber armbands and waded right into the Shane Dawson black hole of nonsense with a brand new video that she uploaded literally 1 minute after we uploaded our special report. We did an extra video this week because there was so much news and they still beat us to the punch. Not that I'm bitter about it. The video is called Breaking My Silence, and in the video she apologizes to James Charles for her videos about him last year. You'll remember her explosive video about James Charles last year that he had to come back against. And she also accuses Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star of, quote, manipulating her into uploading the now infamous videos. She was reading from a script that had been overseen by lawyers. I think Curtis Connor had my favorite take on all of this, which was, quote, yo, imagine being in your 30s and having drama with someone, lol. Which is so true. Everyone in this story is at least a decade too old to be this deep in all this drama. So in the video, you know, it was a very long video, Tati, she outlines her friendship with James and Shane and Jeffree, and she basically accuses Jeffree and Shane of blackmailing her and other people in the beauty industry, and specifically accuses them of trying to whip up drama between her and James. Tati is 38 years old. She claims that all of this was done out of jealousy towards James Charles, who was having fabulous success at the time, and basically she's saying that Jeffree and Shane wanted to wipe out James Charles's competition because they had their conspiracy palette collaboration on the way, and you know, famously there can only be one makeup product on the market at all times. Everyone sits down with their purse and goes, I'm gonna buy one makeup this year. I hope the one they're selling is good. At one point, Tati says, quote, I have lost over a year of my life terrified of social media and terrified of speaking up against the people who used, coerced, and manipulated me into uploading my video last year. Now, Tati says that she mended her relationship with James Charles. He's not James Bond, I don't know why. She said she mended her relationship with, I quite like the idea of calling him just Charles. She mended her relationship with James Charles in 2019, in December, at the end of Shane and Jeffree's beauty series. You know, they exchanged some messages and they came to an understanding. She then, in her video, does a very long apology to James, a tearful apology, and basically blames it all on Shane and Jeffree, saying that they were trying to drive her and James apart. She says, quote, it's important for you to know that I love James Charles. So, a lot of accusations being thrown around. What exactly is Tati claiming that Shane and Jeffree did? Well, she says that they reached out to her to be involved in the Conspiracy Palette series in March 2019, which was about the time she had fallen out with James Charles. Tati said she went to Shane's house and Shane said about James, quote, James Charles is a monster with many victims, and also said, allegedly, quote, he was hurting minors, right? Huge accusations to make about someone. Shane at that time apparently was also planning to interview some of James's alleged victims and also claimed to have evidence of this. Jeffree added fuel to the fire by having an audio file, allegedly, of one of James's victims and told her to, quote, listen to the pain in their voice. Tati said she didn't contact the authorities because it was just a clip and she thought that wasn't enough, but said, quote, it was enough to scare me. Tati goes on to say that Shane offered to even help her edit her infamous takedown video of James, and he even offered to make the thumbnail for it. He offered to help with the title. He was all in on that James Charles takedown video, which really says a lot because we know how much Shane hates editing any video of any kind. The fact that he offered to do any editing, that's above and beyond for Shane, a man who has never cut a second of footage from any video ever released. For his part, Shane has denied any involvement in making the video. He posted a statement a few weeks ago on social media saying that he was not involved. So it's a real he said, she said. Now, it turned out that none of these alleged victims appeared as Shane claimed they would, and that stuff kind of fell by the wayside. Then Tati's relationship with Jeffree and Shane kind of fell apart. At that point, she says she feared for her life, put all the messages between her, Shane, and Jeffree on a hard drive and gave them to her lawyer because she feared there might be an attempt on her life, which is wild. I don't want to make light of that, but what exactly happened or was said that she thought she might be killed? She went on to threaten Shane and Jeffree with future legal action. She claims she has evidence that she's going to bring out in future. She's not revealing it now because of laws and also lawyers. Yeah, so it's like, it's evidence that Shane and Jeffree were like shady and did drama, which of course is famously a big crime. All right, none of us like when tea is spilled, particularly on a nice white, what is this called? Fresh. You're not gonna go to jail for being shady. If you were. So why exactly were Shane and Jeffree so hell-bent on ruining James Charles? Well, as always, it was about money, baby, moolah. They were trying to ruin his career, allegedly, to ensure that their own palette succeeded, which is so silly, and these people are so old, and I pity them, if anything. And now the topic returns, as always with YouTube, to racism, because Tati also once again apologized to Jackie Aina. So Jackie and Tati fell out a while ago after Tati's collaboration with Jeffree. Jackie has long been a critic of Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson due to their very questionable past behavior, particularly with regards to race. I mean, Jeffree Star used to have a range called Lipstick Nazi. Did you know about that, laughing lady? Yeah. Because you were looking at me with pure horror, but I think that's just the appropriate reaction. In 2018, Jackie wrote an open letter to Jeffree on Twitter saying, quote, "I have not and I will not excuse his blatantly racist behavior, his past references to me in derogatory terms, his use of the N-word, nor his efforts to eliminate spaces and opportunities for people of color." Now, in March of this year, Jackie was reviewing one of Tati's products and explained that Tati had actually reached out to her to try and mend their relationship. She said, quote, "Recently, Tati reached out to me and I feel like we don't really see enough of mending bridges on YouTube, especially because of the beauty community. We have the worst reputation for being messy and toxic. But anyway, Tati reached out to me and said some really heartfelt things and really truly made me feel like she was sincere in trying to start over and mend something with me, and I really appreciated that." So it seems that Tati has already taken steps to fix their relationship, but now she's gone one step further and sort of reaffirmed that she's really sorry to Jackie. She said, quote, "Jackie, the moment Jeffree went off on you the day before my first video collab with him, I should have run for the hills. I was naive. I was a mere 35 years old," or whatever. "I was naive. I was excited about the video. I got it twisted that you had provoked Jeffree because you were angry that I had filmed with someone who had a history of being labeled by others as racist. I'm sorry that I did not do the right thing and walk away from him then. I should not have been blind to the reasons behind the accusations of racism. I shouldn't have defended him, and I regret any of the pain that I may have caused you. I am so genuinely sorry." So a nice, quite genuine apology from Tati there. I also do think it's really nice that Tati clearly privately approached Jackie months ago and sort of sorted things rather than just doing it in this big performative way in a video. Tati never said anything publicly about that. It was Jackie who mentioned it. After Tati had responded to Shane responded to Tati on an Instagram live. He seemed very distressed. It was a very quick Instagram live, and he made a lot of vague statements. He said, quote, "She is a I don't want to send any mean things about anybody." He also said, quote, "You are so manipulative," and quote, "You are fake crying," before ending the live after just a couple of minutes. On top of that, Ryland Adams, Shane's fiance, went on Twitter and said, quote, "Tati Westbrook, a masterclass in manipulation. The only way to save her reputation was to side with the person she tried to ruin. Make no mistake, this 40-year-old woman chose to post a video on her own accord. Hope you enjoy those sold-out vitamins that made you millions in minutes. From Shane's support, you two-faced liar." Wow. Strong words from Ryland Adams there. Yet another adult wading into this story. Teens out there who are like, "Oh, school's so like and backstabby. I can't wait to grow up and be a famous beauty person, and then my life will be more refined." And it's like, no, be the same. You're just doing it in a bigger house. After Tati responded to Shane and Shane responded to Tati and Ryland responded to Shane responding to Tati, people are responding to Shane responding to Tati. People are responding. And a lot of people are kind of responding to the fact that Shane Dawson decided to clap back at Tati Westbrook for her comments, but has been radio silent in response to the Smith family, Jada Pinkett Smith, who called him out for sexualizing Willow Smith when she was just 11 years old. He's also been pretty radio silent about the racism, the blackface, the Trayvon Martin joke he made. I know he did make an apology video, but more stuff has come out since then. He's not dealing with any of that stuff. However, he is choosing to deal with Tati Westbrook calling him a liar about some James Charles nonsense. Because while he's dealing with that, maybe everyone will stop thinking for 5 seconds about how he he tried to defend paedophilia in that podcast that time. I can't really argue this, so I'm just going to move the conversation over here and make it about Tati Westbrook, and then we can all hopefully be distracted. I think it's safe to say most of the reaction on social media and beyond was negative towards Shane, particularly because of this silence. However, one person who came to his defense was Brittany Taylor, who's sort of a veteran YouTuber. She said, quote, and I thought this was a very interesting statement, "Has he said and done some really stupid things in his 20s? Heck yes. Your forgiveness for his past actions are for you and you alone to decide. Who amongst us has not accidentally done full blackface multiple times as a person in their mid-20s? Give the kid a break." It just feels a bit like, come on now. Now, that's everything we've heard so far at the time of recording. Shane Dawson will probably issue some amazing, groundbreaking statement, probably around when the upload of this video is about 52% in. And that brings us to the end of this drama. If you found any of this information interesting or useful, or if you have a friend who is super confused about all this drama, which is understandable, please share it with your friends. This honestly is probably the quickest explanation you're gonna get. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please could you hit subscribe on YouTube, or you can swipe up on the last snap of this story. In the meantime, I've been Benedict Townsend. Thank you for watching. I've thrown myself off by not doing the usual outro I usually do, and now I'm just stumbling in the dark through the fog, trying to find a way out. Rat, do you want to say something? Well, goodbye.